Ora si registrerà la conferenza.
Welcome everybody to the introductory webinar, the first meeting on the Azoc ETC international initiative, and I'm very happy to see you here joining us this very important moment, which is the starting point of our new educational experimental initiative. We will have very relevant, important introductory speeches from the main partners and supporters and from the official institution who made possible this initiative. And of course, I thank you very much all the participants from the Croatian government and the regional coordinators from Croatia and the Europe Direct coordinators from Italy, and of course teachers from Croatia and Italy who are connected and will join this meeting. So we will go through all the topics, the main topics of the pilot project. This is an introductory webinar. The first lesson will start in the next week. We will provide you with more details, of course, after this webinar, also during this webinar. But in the beginning, I'd like to start with a very important intervention from the Madam Minister of the Ministry of Regional Development, EU funds of the government of Croatia, Mrs. Natasha Tramišak, and I will share her message here.
Dear Mr. Ferrara, dear colleagues, it is my pleasure to greet you from Croatia on behalf of the Ministry of Regional Development and EU funds, and on my personal behalf. Our team today is joined by colleagues from the Croatian Ministry of Science and Education and the network of regional coordinators from our country. And finally, a special welcome goes to all involved schools from both Italy and Croatia. It is my great pleasure and honor to open today's introductory conference for the pilot project ASOC Interreg Italy-Croatia. We are happy to have the opportunity to participate in this new experimental cross-border cooperation, and I would like to sincerely congratulate all the schools that will participate in the program. As you may already know, ASOC, as an innovative educational program, has been successfully implemented in Croatia in the 2 previous school years and has achieved remarkable results. We are happy to continue this work with our Italian colleagues on this cross-border cooperation program. European territorial cooperation is one of the European Union's cohesion policy goals. As an instrument of cohesion policy, it is designed to solve problems that transcend national borders and require a common solution for developing the potential and diverse territories jointly. It has a clear European added value, helping to ensure that borders are not barriers, bringing Europeans closer together, helping to solve common problems, facilitating the sharing of ideas and assets, and encouraging strategic work towards common goals. The Republic of Croatia participates in a total of 13 programs, out of which Italy-Croatia is financially the largest cross-border program in our country. In this pilot initiative, we are proud to welcome Croatian schools from Buzet, Duga Resa, Zadar, and Dubrovnik, which will take place in an active part in this year's pilot project, and which will directly cooperate with their Italian partners. Dear teachers, Your task will be to lead your teams and students in conducting civic monitoring research on Interreg projects with respect to your own country. In a way, through activities of this project, your students will become researchers, economists, auditors, and reporters, and you will guide them through the process. But more importantly, they will become active citizens who follow public policies, which we consider extremely important, since it encourages better cooperation between citizens and their local communities. The project calls for creativity and cooperation. However, now we are testing a new concept where we took at projects and partners outside our countries. In the light of that, we are very excited to give our schools and students a chance to participate in this unique experience. We would also like to thank the school principals for their willingness and courage to try and test new and experimental educational contents, where we always count on the knowledge and experience of schools that will contribute to project activities. I hope you will enjoy today's conference. I also wish you luck and success in implementation of the ASOC Interreg project and a pleasant and memorable experience along the way. Thank you all for your cooperation.
Thank you. Thanks to Madam Minister Tramiszak for her introduction speech, in which she summed up the topics of the main elements of our project and all the invitation to go through the civic monitoring activities in the best way. Thank you very much for a warm welcome. And now I soon give the floor to Mrs. Simona De Luca. For a welcome speech. Simona De Luca, responsible of the OpenCoesione initiative and member of the evaluation unity in the Department for Cohesion Policy at the Italian Presidency of the Council of Ministers. Please, Simona, with your introduction.
Thank you, Gianmarco, and thank you for inviting me. And I want to say, the first thing I want to say is that I'm really proud to be here today. And as you said, I'm responsible of the Italian OpenCoesione initiative from the very beginning. And I still remember, if you can you hear me? Because I hear some
yes,
voices.
Please go on. Yes, okay. Yes, please.
And as I was saying, I'm responsible of the Italian OpenCoesione initiative from the very beginning, and I still remember when in 2013 we decided to try to launch the first pilot project in Italy in order to understand if it is possible or not to promote civic monitoring on cohesion policy in high schools. And we started only with 7 schools in Italy. And now we reach, in 9 editions, approximately 34,000 of students and more or less 3,400 of teachers. But at the School of OpenCohesion is, I can say, is not only a project, is an experience, and we always try to look ahead and to grow. So we try to experiment new opportunities for teachers and for students to become aware citizens and to understand better the role of cohesion policy in territories. So more or less 2 years ago, we started to cooperate with some member states, and Croatia was one of these member states selected from the European Commission to internationalize the project. So we tried to use the contents and the method experimented in Italy also in an international framework, and to create a real model. And I can say that the result is a success, and together with the colleagues, with the Croatian colleagues and the colleagues of the other member states, we really reached the goal, and we obtained really very, very good results, also with the relevant role, obviously, of teachers and students. And now we are together with the Croatian colleagues, ready to launch a new challenge that is the one that opens today. So the first, at the School of OpenCohesion, Interreg edition. And we started with twins of school and classes from the Italian side and the Croatian side that will work together on common civic monitoring researches. So that's why I'm really proud to be here, because I can say that it is a long path, and it is extremely relevant to have all the outputs of these researches and to read and to learn from what students and teachers tell us on the project implemented in the territories. So I just want to say good luck to teachers and students from the Italian and the Croatian side, and to thank all my fantastic colleagues, starting from Gianmarco and Nora from the Italian at the School of OpenCohesion team, the Croatian colleagues that worked with us in the last years, so Natalia, Maya, and Tanya, and the new colleagues, the Interreg Italy-Croatia managing authorities and all the staff, and the other colleagues that are now working with us and are involved in this new challenge. So I really thank you all, and really good luck for the work. I'm waiting to read the results of the researches and to learn from the work that you will do during this year. So thank you really very much.
Thank you, Simona, for your words, your engaging words, and welcome speech. Thank you very much. And I suddenly give the floor to Mr. Massimo Gerli, Director General at the Office for Analysis, Policy and Program Planning at the Department for Cohesion Policy. Please, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you, Gianmarco. Do you listen to me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody. I am pleased to represent here the Italian Department for Cohesion Policy of the Presidency of Council of Ministers, the public administration in charge of programming the EU cohesion funds and ETC programs. Let me spend a few words talking about the Interreg programs. These programs usually have a very tiny budget, but they are built on the needs of the territories, born with and to pursue a cooperative approach to solve common problems, overcoming national constraints and restrictions, aiming at finding more efficient and effective intervention at improving the quality of life of citizens. Not by chance, the new EU cohesion regulations dedicated the citizens one of the 5 strategic objectives of the Union for the programming cycle 21-27. Moreover, the Interreg programs can often serve as experimental laboratories for regional programs, playing the role of field testing and as a catalyst for wider local investment. Italy-Croatia is one of the most positive and valuable ETC programs in the Adriatic Union area, playing a key role in the macro-regional strategy OSIRE. In this respect, let me thank Croatian partners for their contribution to the program. I am particularly pleased to take part of this kick-off webinar meeting of the field test a Scuola di OpenCoesione, ETC Italy-Croatia. Let me thank also the colleague, the OpenCoesione team and the Veneto region in the person of Flavia Zuccon for their care and cooperation to promote and implement this initiative. This initiative, I think, is particularly important for three reasons. Firstly, because it is a project which comes close the EU cohesion policy to its actual values, ambitions, and targets, since it is devoted to citizens. Secondly, the project is an example of peculiarity of European cohesion policy. That is the civic monitoring of policy implementation. Understanding if and to what extent this policy is fruitful for citizens, how much the implementation of policy is closer to the expected target are all very important aspects of all policies, but in particular for the European cohesion policy. Verifying the impacts effects of project of Interreg program Italy-Croatia of territories is a true value added, I think. Thirdly, and perhaps the most important reason, is that this project involves directly young people. Hence, the value added of the arguments I pointed out before is amplified, in my view. Youth participation is vital for the development and growth of European Union. I'm very sorry for not being in the position of attending all the webinar, but thank you for your attention and wish everybody a fruitful work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Massimo Gelli, Director General at the Department for Cohesion Policy, for these words. And now I will give the floor with pleasure with Mrs. Flavia Zuccon, Head of the Managing Authority of the Interreg Italy-Croatia 2014-2020 program. Please, Flavia.
Yeah. Thank you, Gianmarco, and thank you all you. I'm very pleased and very in a very challenging position because of your compliments and your really challenging task given to the managing authority. Thank you very much. We all, I mean, the whole managing authority and joint secretariat staff, to respect your expectation. We will do absolutely our best, because it's really a new challenge, a new and experimental pilot project at this cross-border level. So we are engaged really in a hard way to do this. Of course, as I'm a technician, first of all, I wish to give you not only greetings, but also some data which regard our program. We are, of course, a cross-border program, a maritime cross-border program. So it's important for us to remember that the general objective of the program is to increase the prosperity and the blue growth potential of this cooperation area. And we would like to reach this objective by stimulating cross-border partnership able to achieve tangible results and to keep to the area tangible changes. We are not exactly at the end of the program, so we have to do work for 2 years long. So we have the possibility, also using the result of this pilot project, to be better in our task and to take into account also some, some useful result from the public opinion and from the school and from the young citizen, the young European citizen, for our work. Absolutely. You already said that the program is a big program under the geographic area. because we are 25 Italian provinces on the Adriatic Sea and 8 Croatian counties, but also under the point of financial resources, because we have to manage 236 million of euros, and the RDF contribution is really high, is 85%. But also the 2 countries involved in this program are financing this program by their co-financing at the national level, that is 15% of the total budget. So we have a big responsibility to use correctly these funds. And we have in mind that these funds could give tangible result for 12.5 million of citizens. So it's really relevant how we are effective in our cooperation. And for this cooperation, we have already financed 84 projects, but now there are also other 5 projects that are under investigation and that will be financed later on. And with this project, we wish to reach results in 4 different big priorities: innovation, above all blue innovation, climate change, environmental encounter, and maritime transport. So the project that we will give to the schools to monitor, to investigate, will be dealing with these relevant priorities for the maritime cooperation. In the same time, we are preparing the next programming period for 2021-2027. We are in this pre-programming phase, confirming a lot of the objectives that we are reaching now with this project, and above all, the blue economy. We wish to capitalize the current cooperation experience, and we will give our new funds coming from the European Commission and from the 2 member states to blue innovation policy, to natural assets, to cultural heritage, which is a common cultural heritage, and to the cross-border mobility. But also, and this is really new for the next programming period, to the institutional capacity of cooperation. I wish to underline these last priorities for the next period, because the institutional capacity is absolutely also the capacity to cooperate among these educational world and school. So I think that Azoc CBC project that we are launching today is absolutely a pilot experience, a pilot project for this institutional capacity of cooperation, and we wish to use the result of this project for our future. So, good luck to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Flavia Zuccon. Thank you very much. And of course, in the meantime, other participants join this session. So I'm very pleased to welcome also the teachers who joined from Italy and Croatia, and all the other participants, and also the Europe Direct Centers representative who are involved, can be involved in this experimental project. So now we jump into the second slot of our web session, which is dedicated to the introduction and to the general presentation of the at the School of OpenCohesion project, and of course the specific details of the pilot project related to the Azoc European Territorial Cooperation Interreg Italy-Croatia. So this presentation will be held by Mrs. Natalia Simunovic, which is the head of sector at the Ministry of Regional Development and EU funds of the government of Croatia, and which is also the pillar, the coordinator of the Azoc initiative in Croatia, and from my colleague Nora and me. So we will start showing a presentation, and I'll suddenly give the floor to Nora at the beginning. So just a moment.
Thank you, Gianmarco. So while we are waiting you to share the slide, let me just thank you everybody to be here, but also thank you to all the partners and the teachers to make this project, this experimental and pilot project possible. So okay, perfect. I hope that everybody sees the slide. If you have problem, you can use the chat. And I have this big honor and pleasure to introduce the Azoc project, and so to talk about what it is. So, what is Azoc? Azoc is, as we can read together, Azoc is a program of civic education to develop digital skills through activities of civic monitoring of public funding in one's own community. It started in Italy in 2013 with 8 schools. It was a pilot project, exactly how it is today, this Interreg, it is Azoc European ETC Interreg project. We had 8 schools at the beginning. Today, our Azoc mainstream project at the Italian level, we have 213 schools, which means that in the last 8 years, the Azoc project really grew up fast and in a very interesting way. We can see in this slide our partner, our supporter. It started and it is nowadays always under the coordination of the Department of Cohesion for the Cohesion Policy, the Italian government, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the representation of the European Commission in Italy. So let's have a quickly look to the educational path, because Azoc is divided in 4 steps. We call them lessons. And you can see here the 4 titles of this lesson. The first one is design, during which the students has to choose the project they want to monitor and the project from their territory. And also they have to do their research design, and they have to build their team. So, because everyone has his specific role in the team. We have the project manager, we have the blogger, the data analyst. After this, we move to the second lesson, analyze, in which the team has to find the data about their project and to analyze them and to produce output of data visualization as infographics or articles of data journalism. Then lesson 3, explore. It's the moment to go out with a field visit and to meet the actors of the project, people involved, to go and touch by hand what's going on and to prepare and conduct interview. At the end of this lesson, they have to prepare a monitor report and a monitor video. For the last lesson, tell the story. Well, I don't think I have to describe, but let me tell you that it's very, very interesting to see what they produce, because they produce video or podcast, also comics, every team has the possibility to choose their favorite output to tell the story of their own monitor research. After this, we can move to the European level. Here you have a few numbers. Simona said before how many students, schools and teachers Azoc has involved in these years. And also we involve people from other countries, because in the last since 2020 and 2021, the Azoc project moved to a European level, and we involved Portugal, Catalonia region in Spain, Croatia, Bulgaria, and Greece. And thanks to this, at the beginning, pilot project, but this is not pilot anymore, and Natalia can tell us what's going on in Croatian after me. But now we have the Azoc content available in 10 different languages, also thanks to the effort of our partners in these countries, and thanks to the very precious support of the European Commission. Last but not the least, let me just spend a few words of what we passed through in the last 2 years due to the COVID-19 emergency. I'm sure I don't have to say anything about this, because we all know what we are talking about. But thanks to this digital model we have, thanks to the e-learning tools we use with our students and with our teams, Azoc didn't stop. And we had our team reaching their output and their goals even during the very hardest period of this coronavirus emergency. So now I am very happy to leave the floor to Natalia, and I can't see you.
Thank you, Natalia.
Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Gianmarco. It's a great pleasure to have the opportunity to speak about the Croatian experience of Azoc. As introduced already, my name is Natalia Šimunović. I work as the head of sector at the Ministry of Regional Development and EU funds in Croatia, in the part of the ministry responsible for the implementation of the largest cohesion policy funded program in our country. Next slide, if I can have, please. Thank you, Gianmarco. So yes, as already stated, our country has applied to the call for expression of interest that was in 2019 launched by the European Commission. Why we wanted to participate in this program? Well, to begin with, we heard a lot of positive remarks and only compliments and kudos about the project, and we wanted to test, as Simona said, for the Italian experience in 2013, well, in the same way, we wanted to see how a good practice project would work in our country, and whether we would be able to implement it in the same way. So we have successfully applied and have started with other 4 member states that were just mentioned by Nora with the experimental phase 2 years ago. What I have to underline here is that we had a great support along the way from our Ministry of Science and Education, and I believe that I have seen the names of the colleagues also from the Ministry of Education here with us today, so a special thanks goes to them. And we are actively cooperating also for this year's edition of the project. And on a more personal note, what was for me the biggest novelty, and what I was really thrilled with is the open government partnership about which I really didn't know a lot, and this is, I think, the greatest benefit for me personally, and my lesson learned from the project. And I believe also that we have the representative of the Croatian Office for Cooperation with NGOs with us. So a special thanks to the office and the colleagues there as well. Well, the results and the indicators that we have achieved in our country are not as impressive as the Italian ones. However, still, we are very proud to say that in the first pilot year, we have had the project implemented in 5 secondary schools, and in the second edition in 10 schools. And the next slide, please, Gianmarco. Coming from the Ministry of Regional Development and EU funds, you can imagine that this regional, balanced regional representation is a very important element, and we put a lot of emphasis on this. So we were able to ensure this balanced regional representation of schools in both editions of the project. This is in the first year, the 5 schools and 10 schools also throughout the country. So we ensure this through the selection criteria. Of course, we do depend on the interest of the schools that apply, and we are also very happy that we were able to have this balanced representation of all the regions. Next slide. Well, this is just to illustrate some parts of the work from the schools that have participated in the project. Of course, we don't have neither the time nor this is the place to go into details. However, these are the logos and some photographs of students with masks, unfortunately, but still happy faces of the students participating in the project. And the next slide, please. These are the 2 winning schools, which we congratulate also today. However, sometimes I say, and I actually repeat this quite often, that I regret that Azoc has this competitive component also in the project, because one school has to win and, well, the others, they do not win. So there is some disappointment on the side of the others. However, at the same time, this competitive factor is also the great charm that the project brings, and the beauty of the project, because it really forces the students and the schools to give their best. Well, yes, we always like to congratulate all the schools that participate in the project, and especially the ones that, as the song says, the winner takes it all. So the ones that win the best prize and the most successful team title for the year. So you can see here on the slide that the first year we had the Zadar school winning the first pilot edition, and in the second year team from Nova Gradiška. Next slide, I believe. And this is the last slide for my today's intervention. So for the Azoc ETC program, well, we were approached by the Italian colleagues some time ago, and it was thanks to the minister whom you saw earlier today with her opening speech, who accepted the proposal for cooperation with great enthusiasm and willingness to participate in the project, which is why we are here today, of course. The ministry has published its call for expression of interest in January this year. We were again very pleased with the great turnout of the schools. And we are happy to present the 4 schools from Croatia also at today's event. And yes, we wish them all the luck in the process, and of course remain open for new ideas, needs for clarification, questions, or anything that you might have for our ministry. I stop here and give the floor back to Gianmarco, I think, for more details on our future cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia, very much for your presentation. And I'd like to introduce the main details of the Azoc ETC pilot project. So, of course, we will go through a more detailed presentation on all the steps and the operational topics in the webinar number 1, which will be the first webinar of lesson 1. Now I will go through, I will present the overall initiative. As you can see, these are the two main logos of the initiative, and just to show you, to illustrate how the project will develop in the next months, starting from now. So, of course, as Simona, Natalia, Flavia said before, the main objective of this pilot project is to involve, as you can see, experimentally, high schools from Italy and Croatia in civic monitoring activities on projects selected among the Interreg Italy-Croatia program. That's to say that this will be the very first step in which your teachers and your pupils, your students will be involved. The selection of the project that you, together with the other school. Now, you know that the final part of this webinar will be dedicated to the kind of lottery in which we will pick up the names of the Italian and Croatian school and combine together to start working as pairs. Okay, and basically this is to verify, the main objective, to verify the impact of the project funded by the Interreg programs over the territories. And of course, this means that you will learn with attending the educational path of the Azoc course program. You will learn step by step how to do this kind of civic monitoring visit. And these activities will be mainly conducted, of course, by you teachers. You will be the coordinators of the students, and the students will create a team identity and a brand identity, and we work together to observe the same project. For example, the Italian school and the Croatian school, the pair school will observe the same project, of course, with different points of view, because as we will see, the webinar number 1, the lesson 1, all the 4 lessons, starting from lesson 1, will be conducted in the national languages. So in Croatian for the Croatian school, and in Italian for the Italian schools. And we propose that the final step, the 4th final report will be produced jointly from each pair of school in English, which is the official language of the Interreg Italy-Croatia program. So, as Nora said before, lessons, reports, and all the educational step follows the mainstream Azoc educational model, including a lot of outcomes and outputs to be produced. For example, a research dossier, a data journalism article, infographics, a civic monitoring report to be compiled and fulfilled on a dedicated platform, and also communication and multimedia material. And of course, if the situation, the pandemic situation, will allow this, on site, on the ground, civic monitoring visit on the sites of the project you will be monitoring. There will be also an award for the winning school pair. 1 or 2 final events will be organized in Venice or in Croatia, in an location to be defined, to be decided, for the presentation of the final report from the winning school pair. and these accommodation and workshop expenses are kindly supported by the managing authority in Venice. The next steps, of course, the next step will be the lesson 1 webinar, which will be held on Thursday 17 in an online mode on the same platform we use today. Okay, for the Italian side, and the Croatian side will decide their own platform to conduct and to hold the webinars. And the main objective of lesson 1 of the next webinar will be the selection of projects to be monitored by the school pairs, and also the definition of the brand identities, students' teams, and of course the first approach to the design of the civic monitoring research. I have anticipated to the Italian teacher that lesson 1 webinar will be held on 15 February. We decided to postpone 2 days after. So I'm communicating right now, I'm announcing right now that the lesson 1 webinar will be held on Tuesday 17, always in the afternoon hours. And of course, we encourage, starting from now, all you teachers from both sides to start contacting the other teachers from the other side. So once we will make the pairs, we will match the schools at the end of this session, you will be able to contact your colleagues from the other side. Of course, we will provide you with all the useful contacts to do so. And ongoing activities relates to periodic online meetings between school pairs, as you prefer. If you want to get in touch with the other school you're working with, online contacts and meetings, of course, between you and all, possibly the partners and the responsible of the projects you will choose. And of course, here you can see, and now we will jump to overall viewing of the calendar, the support from our team, our technical team. It will be an operational educational activities will be supported by us, the dedicated Azoc team from the Croatian and Italian side. The technical support, particularly on the contents related to the Interreg Italy-Croatia program and projects, will be provided by the Interreg managing authority and joint secretariat experts, who will present the next slot of this session. And of course, we invite to participate, to jump in the project, also our friends from the European Direct Centers and the regional coordinators in Croatia and Europe Direct Centers in Croatia and Italy too, to possibly give a support to the schools in terms of facilitate contacts between students and partners of the projects, for example, to make interviews and to make videos and to organize local events and so on. And here is an overall viewing of the calendar as we proposed to you. As you can see on the left column, you see the number of the lesson and the final event, which will take place in July, or possibly in July, and the dates of the webinar sessions. The next one will be Thursday 17, and then the deadlines we propose. Of course, please note that if you go beyond the date of the deadline, you will not be fired, you will not be excluded by the project, of course. But we strongly suggest to respect these dates and the deadlines in order to offer a more efficient support to you all. And so this is each lesson will take approximately 1 month of work with the students, with you and the students. Okay, we will be supporting you day by day, step by step, from the Croatian and the Italian side. So you have all the contacts, all the contact information of both sides, and please start from now on. We'll be at your side for any questions and to support in your activities. So these are the main contact information, the official emails of the Azoc project in Croatia and in Italy, and the official websites and the official hashtags we suggest you to use in the next communication, because at the School of OpenCohesion and also this experimentation, it is also a communication project. So we will use a lot sharing our activities on social networks and so on. So I'm finishing my presentation, and so of course there are other specific contacts you have, the personal emails of Nora, me, and Natalia, and Tanya, and all the people who work in the Azoc teams in Croatia and in Italy. So please use these contacts, and yes, we will always at your side, because we are, as Simona said, we are very happy and proud to start with you this new experimentation. We end up this presentation with a a few lines from the CAO of the Open Government Partnership, who at a high-level conference of good governance 2 years ago in Brussels spoke about at the School of OpenCohesion project as a project that should be spread all over the EU countries to improve citizen engagement. That's why we are here, to improve citizen engagement, to raise a new generation of aware citizens, young citizens, in the year of youth, you know, European Year of Youth. That's very important also for us, and also for the European Commission, that is always following and highlighting all the activities that we are carrying out in the Azoc framework. Thank you very much. And now we will jump into the next section of our meeting today, and I'm very happy and very pleased to give the floor to the Managing Authority and the Joint Secretariat of the Interreg Italy-Croatia program. Mr. Enrico Carraro will make an introduction of the program of the Interreg Italy-Croatia, and then Silvia, which is the head of Joint Secretariat, will illustrate the framework of the projects, and the colleagues Marin and Natalia will go deep in the project list, which will be the basis of your common work to start your civic monitoring challenge. So please, Enrico, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Gianmarco. Thanks everybody to be here. But I also understand why you're here. I myself cannot imagine a better way to spend a Friday afternoon than speaking about European funds. So thank you for giving me the chance to speak with you about that. I will share my screen right now. Just let me know if it's okay. You can see
it. Actually, now you have to click on the screen button.
Yes, I did. It says that I am sharing. It
right.
says I'm sharing.
Yes, now we can
Try
see
to
your
process
presentation.
again. Okay, thank you. Okay,
Great.
perfect. The first thing I would like to clarify, if it's not perfectly known by everybody, is what is Interreg. As defined by the European Commission, it is a key instrument of the European Union in order to support cooperation across borders throughout project funding. Its aim is to jointly tackle common challenges and to find shared solutions in a wide variety of fields, such as, for instance, environment, health, research, education, transport, sustainable energy, and much more. But how does it do so? It does so through the development of projects and solutions that are actually going much beyond borders of the single member state of the European Union, in order to facilitate countries to talk to each other, civil servants like me, for instance, researchers, to not to feel borders as barriers, but actually to smoothly put in communication people and solve common problems. I will not bother you with a lot of numbers and data that will be very much easily accessible to you. The only thing I'd like to make clear is that Interreg programs have a very long history that starts from 1990, and it was starting with a very small budget that grew more and more every programming period, because European Commission and stakeholders actually realized of the deep impact that Interreg programs had on the ground and for the life of people. So it started in 1990 with 1 billion, and it decuplicated in the current programming period that is about to end, and so let's go. This fund, the Interreg, is not directly implemented by European Union or European Commission, but those institutions kind of delegate part of the managing of the programs to local, national, regional actors, institutions. For instance, for Italy-Croatia program, Veneto region is the managing authority of the program, which means that is the one in charge of choosing specific objectives, priorities somehow, and also project and beneficiaries that will have to pursue those specific objectives. I will cut short because I have my time clock here running, and I see that I'm already running out of time. Another short thing that I would like to share with you is that the total financial endowment of the 19 European Territorial cooperation programs in which Italy participate are equal to almost 3 billion euros. And for the ETC territorial cooperation, Italy just received 1 billion euros from the funds of the cohesion policies. While on the Croatian side, throughout 4 national programs, it is founding about 10.7 billions, which means that an average of 2,500, which would be 2,500 euros per person from the European budget to Croatia, have been deployed in the period 2014-2020. And from my side, that will be all. I'm sorry I took a couple of minutes too long. I hope this may be interesting for you. And of course, I remain at disposal for any doubt you may have.
Thank you, Enrico, for introducing what is Interreg, an overview of the Interreg world. And now I'll be giving the floor to Mrs. Silvia Comiati, Head of Joint Secretariat of the Italy-Croatia 2014-2020 program, which will go in depth on the Italy-Croatia program. Please, Silvia.
Thank you, Gianmarco. I will now share. Let me just know if the screen is visible.
We can see your screen. Yes, please.
Okay, so I will just briefly introduce with some information on the management of our program, and then I will leave the floor to my colleagues from the Joint Secretariat, who will give you a brief illustration of the selected projects for this Italy-Croatia Azoc pilot. So as Ms. Flavia Zuccone has already anticipated, these are the 4 priority axes of our program. And these are the 7 specific objectives. So the projects that you will be choosing among are funded within one of these objectives. So they are dealing thematically with these important policy objectives. I would like to give you some more information about how the program is structured. You will, of course, be able to receive these slides so you can get more information. And of course, as said already, we are at your disposal for any further information about the single projects. Regarding the partnership of our projects, so what you will find among the partners of our projects, you have to know that the partners have to be located, of course, in the program area. And we also have some exceptions, like, for instance, we have a lot of project partners that are based in Zagreb, for instance, or in Rome, because those are those partners that have specific capacity or specific they have the power or the personality, the legal personality to do certain activities, and as such, they have to be involved in the program, in the projects. Then you will see that we also allow private partners as eligible partners in our projects, but in general, the majority of our partners are indeed public bodies. There is not a specific limit of partners in our projects, but being these, of course, cross-border cooperation projects, you have to have at least one partner from Italy and one from Croatia. The projects are selected through specific calls. These calls are calls which set the rules of the projects and which define the typologies of projects that we envisage and that we fund. We have in particular funded projects which are standard, so regular project, capitalization projects, so-called standard plus. We have strategic projects which are bigger and more strategically important projects for the program area, and we have also cluster projects. Okay, these are some of the outputs that we have funded in our different priority axes. You will see when you will dig a little bit more into the project that each project tend to achieve at least one of those outputs, but the majority of our projects indeed achieve at least 2 or 3 outputs in their life. Regarding the project implementation, regarding more the spending, the financial management of our program, we foresee 7 budget lines, so 7, let's say, cost categories where the projects are implementing their activities, so according to different rules, and this the majority of the thematic activities are implemented under external expertise, equipment, small-scale infrastructure, so those are more, let's say, infrastructure related or construction related projects, and of course staff costs, which are the budget, which is the budget line that is a cross-cutting budget line for all the project activities. Our project also go through some modifications, some let's say adjustments during implementation. We have different typology of modifications, and when you will go into the monitoring of these projects, you will see that from the beginning until the end of the projects, minor or major modifications have been approved in order to adjust to the different needs of the projects and of the territories. Our projects need to report activity and costs twice a year, so they have a report in June generally and one in December. And our project also have some communication obligations, and they have to provide all the main activities and outputs they produce and to make them available in our program website. You will see later on that each project has its own website, and they have to, of course, develop the communication strategies throughout their implementation. Okay, this is a timeline of the activities. You will find it in my presentation. I will not go deeper into it, but for you to know that this programming period is of course ending in 2023, so next year. And according to the different projects that you will be monitoring, you will see that they are in different, either they are already closed projects or they are in the closing phase. They will be closing in the next months. So this will depend on which projects you will choose. I will now give the floor to my colleagues who will explain a little bit more about the selection of projects that we have prepared for you.
Thank you very much, Silvia, for this important presentation. So please, Marin, Natalia, you can take the floor and share your screen.
Thank you, Gianmarco, and good afternoon to everyone. My name is Natalia Agic, and I am working within Joint Secretariat. And I will now share the screen. Just 1 second. Okay, can you see?
Yes. We can see.
Great.
And you can also enlarge the screen by clicking on the
yes.
bottom right. On the bottom right, yes. Perfect.
Great. So let's first give a short introduction. As Ms. Comiati explained, we have selected 22 projects within 4 priority axes that best represent the program as such. So we will start first with priority axis 1, Blue Innovation. Under this priority, the program aims at fostering more effective investments in research, innovation, and education in order to increase innovation in specific business niches like tourism, fishery, aquaculture, and in the same time to improve competitiveness of small, medium-sized enterprises. So we will now go through all projects, highlighting main aspects of each of them. And of course, as Gianmarco and Silvia said, you will receive the presentation where each project name is linked with their website. So as you can see, this underlined Fair C, you can click and go to directly the website of the project. And also, I would like to mention to you that besides on some slides, there are additional links underlined leading to video about specific results or implemented activities, as you can see on this first Fair C slide video about it. So let's speak a little bit about Fair C project. The project is dealing with fisheries sector. The main project result is development of integrated platform for a quantitative ecosystem approach to fisheries that goes, of course, beyond territorial borders. This high-tech and innovative platform will be used as a planning tool that will be enable testing of different fisheries policies, both at local level and the whole Adriatic Sea. And the project organized 2 summer schools, as you can see the results reached, and produced best practices and guidelines for sustainable fishery management. Then we have Adri Reef project. This project partners saw great potential of Adriatic reefs in order to strengthen the blue economy sector. And they have performed analysis and underwater monitoring of reefs in order to make their classification as well as guidelines for stakeholders. In addition, at the end of the project, they will come out with so-called white paper on the exploitation of reefs, which will include specific plan for the future funding. And also here you can see video, underlined video link leading to their results. Then we have Coast Energy project. Coast Energy project creates environment for business initiatives in the blue economy sector, focusing on wave and thermal energy converters to be integrated in structures such as breakwaters, marinas, etc. Of course, these initiatives are designed to guarantee the full preservation of marine ecosystems and the landscape, and in accordance with the needs of other maritime activities such as fishing, aquaculture, tourism, and shipping. Also, a lot of results reached, a lot of visibility studies, 8 actually, and online database as well as cross-border energy hub. This is 3 projects within Priority Axis 1. Then we have Priority Axis 2, Safety and Resilience. Under this priority, we have 2 specific objectives. One for improving the climate change monitoring, in particular to develop adaptation capacity against the main effects of climate change, like flooding, coastal erosion, etc. And second specific objective with the aim to increase the safety of the program area from natural and man-made disaster. Under this priority, we have Change We Care project. Change We Care explores climate risks in order to better understand the impact climate change has on water regimes, tourism, biodiversity, and ecosystems. The main goal of the project is to deliver integrated planning options for different problems related to climate change, together with measures to be taken in the risk areas. So we are going to just quickly through all projects, and you will have opportunity to go in detail with the information on their websites. Then we have Joint SecCap, who is composed of 2 phases. In the first phase, the project designed a web platform in order to share information about ongoing actions for climate change adaptation, especially for those weather and climate changes and hydrogeological risks affecting coastal areas. And in the second phase, this web platform became a tool for the local coordination of joint actions. Then we have AdriAdapt, with the aim to promote local and regional resilience by developing the knowledge base in order to identify climate adaptation and planning options for local authorities to respond to policy needs related to climate actions in urban and coastal zones of the project area. As you can see, local plans have been developed as well as a resilience platform. Then we have a PEPSI project with the main objective to protect the Adriatic Sea from pollution coming from ships, offshore platforms, etc. Everything in order to increase the quality of coastal life and to preserve biodiversity of the Adriatic region, which will of course have benefits for the fishery and tourism sector. The model that the project will create of protection and response to pollution can be transferred to also other parts of the Adriatic and even beyond. Then we have a readiness project who organized civil protection trainings and raised awareness for improving joint emergency services response and innovative crisis management procedures in order to mitigate the exposure of citizens to fire and seismic hazards. This is like the main, highlighting the main achievement of the project. Coming to priority axis 3, environmental and cultural heritage, which focus, as the also name says, to conserve, protect, promote, and to develop natural and cultural heritage. Under this priority axis, we have project key Q+, with the main objective of the project to protect and preserve the historically rooted cuisine and less known heritage sites, and to give a boost, so-called to cross-border economy, thanks to the experimental tourism packages. So the project took the approach of matching local foods, cultural assets, and history in order to reinforce attractiveness and to present them to the tourists. Next project is historic. The project decided in order to move local communities toward the use of their own cultural heritage, installed the, let's say, in pilot areas, solutions for better management of tourist flows while promoting the local tradition. Also, results reached are written downstairs. Then we have Arca Adriatica project, has a name, let's say, to develop a common tourism product which preserves, protects, and promotes the rich maritime heritage of the border area. Also, you can see there are a lot of results reached, like master plan for the development of new products, then 7 centers of excellence, Academy of Old Crafts and Skills, etc. And the next project, to just give a short introduction, is Value. The project had an overall objective to define a new model of the integration between culture, nature, and tourism as a tool for territorial development. So the results achieved are several, as you can see, 4 archaeological parks, 9 pilot actions, as well as Center of Scientific Excellence. Here I would stop and give a floor to my colleague Marin, who will continue with the presentation of other projects.
Thank you very much, Natalia, and I like to greet all the present. I will try to share now the screen. Please let me know can you see my screen correctly?
Yes, please go.
Okay, thank you very much. So the projects which I will follow are connected to the specific objective of contribution to protection and restoration of biodiversity, and to improve the environmental quality condition of the sea and coastal area by the use of sustainable innovative technologies and approaches. So first of such project is sorry, just a second. It's SASPAS. SASPAS project has the overall objective to improve seagrass protection through safe anchorage innovative systems, and through implementation of pilot area for protection with real-time monitoring system implemented for following of marine seagrasses status. So the project reached some result, which are the anchoring system placement in pilot sites, a pilot transportation of seagrasses in damaged areas, GIS information platform, and an integrated management program. Next project, I have some problems with the following. Yes, okay. So ECO's main objective is the establishment of the ecological observing system in the Adriatic Sea, and to integrate ecological and oceanographic research and monitoring coupled with the Natura 2000 conservation strategies. The project activities resulted in the development of a strategic roadmap document in 6 case studies integrating Natura 2000 sites monitoring and creation of data infrastructure. The project EcoMap was concentrated and aimed to improve the environmental strategies in local ports in order to sustain the environmental friendly services in marinas and nearby areas, to support the knowledge raising on the importance of pollution management in ports, and investigating methodologies analyzing the geomorphologic evolution of port areas. The activities of the projects resulted in implementation of equipment for waste and wastewater management in marinas, in new infrastructure implemented in marinas to prevent sea pollution, setting up protocols, achievement of environmental certification, blue flag certification for marinas and beaches, and in tools to monitor the status of the environment in marinas, the sea environment. The AdSwim project connected research institutions with municipalities and wastewater treatment plant in order to improve the environmental quality condition of sea and coastal areas through better monitoring of the bathing water quality, and through a better control of the waste waters. The project results achieved innovative solutions for wastewater treatment quality. It produced new protocols to improve energy efficiency of wastewater treatments. New biosensors have been developed for detection of sea contaminants, and new sampling methods for water quality have been implemented. The water care project also has the aim to improve the quality of the bathing and coastal waters, developing an innovative quality integrated system. So it was an ad hoc system and infrastructure to monitor the bathing water's quality and to manage in an innovative way the wastewater and the water that are coming from the treatment plants. So it created an innovative water sensors in some pilot areas. It created an operational model to foresee meteorological, hydrological, and bacterial status of bathing waters, and created the management guidelines. And the ML repair project realized educational activities and awareness raising, in particular with the connection and support of the fishermen community, creating protocols and application for marine litter management, and also for a better management of plastic in the marine areas, and achieved also to collect 60 tons of marine litter through the collaboration of fishermen and better management of their fishing nets, and created an educative programs. And now the last priority axis in which we proposed some projects is the priority axis 4, which deals with maritime transport, and in particular it is connected with the objective to improve the quality, safety, and environmental sustainability of marine and coastal transport services and nodes, and by promoting multimodality in the program area. So the project Icarus promotes a strategy for intermodal connections with the objective to improve the passenger connections and to ease the accessibility to the transport systems. In particular, as you can see by the result reached, it connects the opportunity to use bike with other transport system, so the intermodality bike train, bike bus, bike train, and ferry corridors in the Adriatic, and also digitalization of the intermodality system with an open data ICT platform and ICT system, improving the ticketing, the passengers tracking, and so on. Moses project has the aim to enhance accessibility and mobility of passengers with the development of new cross-border sustainable integrated transport services. So it aimed to improve the maritime transit services, to improve the quality of passenger services and the connection between the ports and the hinterland. Also, it had several pilot actions. Some infrastructure was reconstructed, in particular the quay in Susak Island, and also the intermodality with car-bike sharing system were improved, and bike and bus system. Adrigim project improved the integration of Croatian and Italian ports and airports with other modes of transportation. So it reached some result as providing smart solutions in Bari and Pescara connection between airport and port with the local transportation system, integration of timetabling in Ancona and Rimini, and tested new innovative services in order to reduce energy consumption in airport facilities. And DigiLogs, the DigiLogs projects had the aim to create the technological solutions to digitalize the logistic process of multimodal freight transport and passengers services. So it was focused on creating deployment of roadmaps in order to increase the competitiveness of the multimodal transport services and to harmonize the passenger services. So the activities resulted in delivering of a planning system, in innovative warehouse management systems, and in creation of a white paper for stakeholders showing these innovative models. And this is all by my side. With this, we presented all the 22 projects selected for future investigation and audit by the schools. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marin. Thank you, Natalia. So I guess we don't have time for the question and answer slot. So I write a few lines in the chat asking for comments and questions if you have any, or else, of course, we will keep in contact from both sides, Croatian and Italian side, with the teachers participating. So please don't worry. We can, of course, we can talk together, have a chat together afterwards. So now this is the moment. I think you all will be waiting for, which is the moment dedicated to the matching of the school pairs. We have, together with Natalia and the Croatian team, we have prepared a very sophisticated and engineeristic, method way, which consists of a mug, a very fantastic mug and a cup, okay, which we will insert the cards with the names of the schools, okay. Natalia, please, together, okay, we have the same, okay. Natalia she's holding the Italian school names, okay, while I'm holding the Croatian school names, 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay. So Natalia has a very good pronunciation of Italian. While I'm not well aware of the Croatian pronunciation, so please don't blame me for my pronunciation. So we will, Natalia, I think you can begin with the extraction by picking up the name of the schools. From now on, these would be the pairs, the school pairs that will work together, okay? And we will provide you with respective contacts and so on. So please.
Thank you, Gianmarco, for the compliments. I will stick to English. And yes, it's a very exciting moment. I will draw then the first Italian school, if okay with you. So yes. It says Termoli, Giovanni Boccardi. So this is the first.
Okay, this is the school from Termoli. Mm-hmm. And now I will pick up, I will draw the name of the Croatian school to which the Termoli one will be matched. So this is Scuola, Buzet, Istria County. So Termoli will work together with Buzet, okay? Right? I don't know if the presentation is correct, but I hope so.
It's great, yeah. Okay, so we continue with the second pair, right? Yeah. Okay, I have the same. It's actually Azoc Croatia mug. So I now pick the second Italian school for the second team. And it's Brindisi, Ettore Majorana. There you go.
Okay, the school from Brindisi, Ettore Majorana in Puglia. And, okay, I pick up. Yes. It's a very complicated name. I will read only the Scuola Stanca Ojanica Zadar, correct?
Perfect.
Okay. The school from Zadar will work together in pair with the school of Brindisi. Okay. Now,
and the third Italian school for the third pair, Pescara, Alessandro Volta. That's an easy one to pronounce. There you go.
the school from Pescara, Abruzzo, will go through the civic monitoring activity together with the school of Gimnasia Dubrovnik, Pescara and Dubrovnik. Okay, and the last one.
Okay. And the last pair from Italy, Trieste,
yes,
Grazia Deledda, Max Fabiani. There you go.
And the school of Trieste will work together with the Scuola Ducaressa, Karlovac County. Right?
Excellent.
Okay, so trying to recap together, Natalia. So the first pair nominated, appointed was Termoli and Buzet. Second pair appointed was Brindisi and Zadar, correct?
Correct.
Then Pescara with Dubrovnik.
With Dubrovnik.
And finally Trieste and Ducaressa. Okay, so we are very happy.
Yes.
Now we have we can in fact start with the activities of this experimentation. From now on, you will be able to get in touch with the other school. Of course, we already are able to get in touch and to contact us for any questions, for any need. So we will share with you all the material we showed today, meaning with that the slides and also the registration of this webinar will be available to you all with a web link. So you can of course write us emails. And we will share also the calendar of the activities. And the most important thing to bear in mind is that the next appointment will be on Thursday 17 with the lesson 1 webinar. In that occasion, we will go through the selection of the project and the approaching of the design of the research, the civic monitoring research, and of course, also the brand identity of the teams. About this last point, Natalia, about the brand identity, we can suggest to you, now that we have the appointed school pairs, that you can create together with the other school, and the school matched, the same communication and branded identity. So we think that this could be another, this is a very nice, very pretty ice-breaking activities to put in touch your students with the students of the other school. Okay, to start working on graphics and communication, to create a common logo, for example, and a common name, of course. That this will be created during the lesson 1, during the month of lesson 1, okay, until the next deadline. But you can start contacting the other school and start thinking also about if you are not still not well aware on the projects, or the details of the projects you have to choose, but maybe on the topics, on the themes that colleagues from the Joint Secretariat illustrate today. So, of course, we will provide you with all these materials and the slides, so you will have the occasion to yes, to learn a bit more about the Interreg world, the Italy-Croatia program, and the projects belonging to this program. So, if you don't have any questions, so since we are 15 minutes late, I will give the floor to Natalia and the Croatian side for the final greetings, please, and then we can. Please, Natalia.
Thank you. As we said previously, our emails are open for communication, and we look forward to engaging with the schools at the first lesson. Also today with us colleagues from other parts of the ministry, whom I would also like to thank for their participation, the communication department, of course, and our CBC colleagues who have joined us recently in this new collaboration. So nothing more to say. Thanks to our Italian colleagues for the organization and active participation in today's event, and we look forward to next steps.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Of course, now I will give the floor to Flavia Zuccon and Silvia Comiati from the Managing Authority and Joint Secretariat for their final greetings. Please, Flavia.
Yes, thank you. Really, I wish to add just an information about the fact that we wish to speak to our monitoring committee about the launching of this project, because I forgot to say before that this project was approved by the monitoring committee of the program, and also our desk officer of DG Regio is really happy for this initiative. She attended the meeting. I don't know if she is still in connection with us, but she was very happy for this initiative. And so I wish to ask to you, Gianmarco, just now to be our testimonial in the monitoring committee, the testimonial of the project.
It will be a pleasure. Yes, thank you for the invitation.
The date is 24 of February.
Yes. Yes, confirmed. Thank you very much, Flavia. So I would like also to thank the monitoring committee for their support and collaboration. And Silvia, please.
Yes, thank you also from my side. I would like also to thank all my colleagues who contributed to prepare the contents for today. As also said before, we are, of course, at disposal for whatever needs or clarification or question about the projects, and we will be also supporting whenever needed in the next workshops. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to give the floor also to Milena Rosa, which is the head of Italy-Croatia delegation. Milena, please go on if you want to say something, anything, greetings, if you can.
Yes, thank you, Gianmarco, and good afternoon to everybody. As Agency for Territorial Cohesion, we are very happy for these experimental activities, and we look forward to have the first results and also to follow in a very detailed way how the students and the school will reply to this experimental action. And in the next future, we will hope that the Azoc project will be applied to all the territorial cooperation program where Italy is involved. So we are very happy, and thanks Gianmarco, thanks also to the managing authority of Italy-Croatia program, and to everybody that this could be a reality. Thank you.
Hopefully, thank you for these suggestions and your greetings, Milena. And I'd like to invite you, if you can, and if you want, and if you like, to open up your webcam and to to turn on your webcam for the final greeting, so we can see also our faces at the end of this meeting, just to say bye to you all and to greet us all. Of course, please take the greetings also from Simona, on behalf of Simona De Luca. She had to quit for urgent commitments, so we can see you now. So thank you very much for your participation and for your collaboration. Thank you for all our partners, institutional partners from both sides, Croatian and Italian side. Of course, thank you very much to you teachers and you territorial network centers, because you will be, let's say, the heart of the project, so the protagonists, and you will carry on the project and carry out all the outcomes together with your students. So we are very happy and proud to start with this new exciting experimentation. I hope to see you very soon. Of course, we'll contact you at the very beginning of the next week, let's say on Monday morning, with the material and all the updated information for the next steps. So thank you very much, and have a nice day and a nice weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Ciao, bye bye.
Bye. Bye, thank you.
Bye, thank you very much.
Bye.